And we are live. What's going on, Mayvizzle followers? What's up, death metal heads and death match fans? If you like that wrestling, you might want to tune into this shit too. I got your boy Theo Vlahos here right now from New Jersey. I hope I didn't butcher that name. He's in the death metal band Weeping from New Jersey. They made this EP right here, and this shit fucking knocks. Ethereal Suffering in the Light of God. It's pretty wild. It's only 5 tracks, and it's definitely take 12 minutes of your time to listen to this shit at some point. But right now, we're gonna bring Theo in here and shoot the shit. We're gonna talk about how this album or how this EP came to be, what's coming next for the band, and all sorts of other shit. But probably not Taco Bell for an hour or so. Fucking
Yo, what's up?
yeah.
That killed me.
But yeah, man, fucking shit. So
You also didn't butcher my name. Like that was like very good. I was very happy about
oh,
that.
right on. I googled that shit, not lying. I googled your last name and heard like a little robot say it, and I was like,
Let's
okay,
go.
I think that's how it's said.
Dude,
So,
like my whole life has just been people being like Theandros Valhalos. Like, you know what I mean? Like, yo, like those letters aren't even in there.
Greek name,
Yeah, yeah.
right
Yeah,
on.
all
I
the S's.
so I guess that answers one of my questions. So track 3 on the album, of course, is
Yeah.
"To Live and Die." That's written in Greek. Um, dude. So, all right, I'm gonna tell you how I found out about you real quick. Cause you're probably like, how does this guy know all this shit?
Yeah.
So, basically, I love Night Shift merch. I'm always buying Black Dahlia. I'm a huge Black Dahlia Murder fan. Big metalhead and shit. I've always been listening to like, just newer bands. And during COVID, I started collecting vinyl, and I was just like, fuck, man, like I literally just started buying the craziest vinyls with the best covers. So whenever I see something that catches my eye, I'm like, okay, I'm going to buy that and then add it to my collection. And when I'm going to switch back to the album cover real quick.
Mhm.
I basically saw this and I was like, dude, this is me on lockdown. I saw this and I was like, damn, and then I saw the title, Ethereal Suffering in the Light of God, and I already knew like kind of what the album was going to be about. The EP was going to be about.
Mhm.
EP was released, I believe, in May
Yes.
21st, and then
Mhm.
this is going to be coming out on vinyl on the 24th. So I've been waiting for this pre-order, man, and it's how does it
Dude,
feel to be on vinyl, man?
dude, it's a crazy experience. Like just like to have like so like right here I have like our tape for this, and it's just so wild for me to like be on physical media. I'm trying to get the glare out the way. This is horrendous, but you can't really see it because it's like dark. But like just to have like my own music on tape is crazy. I'm like so excited. We haven't gotten the test presses yet. I don't know if Kareem's watching this,
Yeah.
but watching you. But like yeah, I don't know, it's so surreal. Like this album, like this EP, whatever, like has been such like a crazy, just like from writing it to like just even making the demo beforehand. Like I don't know if you
Yeah.
listened to that,
Oh
but
yeah.
like what happened kind of was that me and our bass player Anthony, but like so like I'm gonna preface now, like I never call him Anthony, his name's Pigeon.
Okay. Okay.
So like me and Pigeon were in this band called Kong, and that was like a metalcore, like hardcore band. Like you can look that up. It's still like on the internet. Um, and like as of like COVID happening, like, we had like a bunch of shows that got dropped and stuff, and like I don't know. I think the morale on everybody was like really down for like making music, and I don't know. I've been into death metal since I was like 12 or 13, and like just for a while I'd been kind of easing away from like the really like breakdown heavy, like like hardcore, like for my fucking bros kind of music. So like,
Yeah.
but I did, objectively have a phase of that where like, when we were writing all that stuff, like I really like metalcore and shit. But I was like, yo, I want to write some death metal because I was like, I haven't tried to do it since I was in like the 8th grade, so I might as well give it a crack again, And um, doing the demo was like, I was like, yo, I can do this. Like that's wild. And so then just like even just going like to now, like fast forward a year, like a year back, like this record wasn't even recorded a year ago. Like with the demo, I was thinking back to it earlier today, like if I went like to like this day last year, like I was tracking vocals for the demo. So like to know that I'm gonna get a test press or an actual vinyl is crazy. Not to like answer your other questions about how we did all this beforehand. I don't want to get too much into that, but yeah, wild.
No, yeah, man, that's wild. So that's another thing. I was listening to your actual demo, and I was like, holy shit. Because, all right, so there's another band that I feel like you guys are really similar to. And I don't mean in terms of sound, but I mean in terms of, on terms of like your trajectory, like how shit has been coming together. So, like, your demo reminded me of when I heard Undeath's demo.
Really?
Yeah, because I remember hearing that and I was like, there's going to be big things coming from this fucking band, dude.
Oh,
Like,
man, thank you.
yeah, when I heard your demo, it was wild, and I wanted more. I was like, shit, you know. And this was right when I first heard about the EP, so I checked it out, and I was like, okay, this is tight. And then I remember the day it came out, I hopped up in my car. I was just like driving somewhere. I think I was like getting burger or some shit. And I remember I turned on your shit, and just the intro, I was like, what the fuck? Like, you guys mixed like doom with thrash, and it's I've never heard anything out of Jersey like it too, which is pretty cool. How does it feel like, being, because I know like over here there's like a lot of grindcore bands. Like I have a friend that he was in a power violence grindcore band, and you know kind of like the people you're doing shows with, you kind of like get a lot of influence from them and sound like them.
Mhm.
But like, how do you feel? Because I feel like I haven't ever heard anything like this.
So I don't know. In my opinion, like I was doing this in like the respect of being the antithesis of like everything that's around here. And I mean, not to say that we're the only death metal band here. Like there's it's like as I've made this band and I've met more people, there are more and more bands that are death metal that are in the area. There's not a lot that are like as currently active as we are. Like there are some where like, oh, they did stuff 2 years ago, they're gonna come back. It's like everybody knows this guy. Like and like vice versa. Like like projects are still there, but like it's not popping to say, you know what I mean? Like there's some areas where I'm sure there's like a huge death metal scene. Like we play shows and like most of the other bands are like some variation of like hardcore, metalcore. Like I don't think like we've played, if I'm like thinking about it, right? Like yeah, we've only played like our first show. We played with another band on that distro that we're on, Frozen Screams. We played with this band called Blemish. I think that was the only death metal band that we've like played with. I might
Yeah.
be wrong, but like I mean, like yesterday we played with Butcher's Dozen, and they're like kind of like beat down and death metal at the same time. But like that's kind of the only like straight death metal band we've played with, and like the time that we've been playing shows. But yeah, I don't know. Cali kind of like influenced us if you think about it, because one of my like top bands of all time is Nails, which I'm sure you've
Okay.
heard of.
Yeah.
Like 'cause I don't know where like exactly. You told me where you're from in Cali, but I've never been to California, so I have like no
Yeah.
understanding of like where everything is. But yeah, so I mean like power violence, like like weekend nachos, like all that shit, like super influential on me. Like Full of Hell, like we love that shit.
Oh yeah. Fuck
What
yeah.
else? There was something oh yeah, like the other band that I really like from Cali that like we always joke about like influenced the intro to Heaven is Twitching Tongues.
Okay.
That's like one of my like top three all time is like Cannibal Corpse, Nails, Twitching Tongues.
Yeah. No shit. That's
Yeah.
fucking crazy, man. Yeah, it's like I love I'm really influenced by the East Coast, like with the shit that I listen to. I like like Morbid Angel, a lot of the
Hell
Florida death metal, and then New York
yeah.
death metal as well. I fuck with Deicide too. I like the Deicide shirt, and then
Night Shift.
yeah, exactly. And then Midwest stuff too. Like Black Dahlia's got to be my top, one of my top bands, but
Dude, Black
it's
Dahlia is next level to
yeah,
this day.
they're consistent. That's what I love about them. It's like they always keep topping themselves, and I'm like, how the fuck do you guys do it? But
Yeah.
it's they were my gateway to death metal though, and now I listen to whatever the fuck, and
Yeah, right. It's like now I listen to some dude like like with a floor mic in the middle of the room and he's just screaming and I'm like, yeah, this is hard.
well, if that shit knocks, man, and that's something I noticed was how clean your guys' sound is on this. Like, I was expecting to pull your guys' names up when I was doing the research or whatever, and I was expecting to find a fucking massive list of like music you've released with how clean everything was. I see you guys fucking worked with yeah, you worked with Hunter Young from Greatview, and
Yep.
how did that come into fruition?
Dude, so like crazy thing is that like so Pigeon, I also call him Bird, so like my apologies if this gets confusing, but like yeah, I have like a million names for him, but he's my boy. But he used to be in this like local legend like metalcore band called or deathcore band called Borderlines from around here. I don't know if you ever heard of them, but back in the day, Hunter managed his band, so like the unmanageable Borderlines. And so after we recorded, like as we were finishing the demo, Pigeon like brought that up as like as like a thing to me, as like he's like, yo, would you want to record with Hunter in Florida? And I like just was able to like at that point I just like gotten a job and had been able to like afford it. And I was like, yo, I mean, like, see if he's down. Like, I don't know why he'd want to work because I didn't really know much about him aside from like Culture Killer and like great and like the first Graveview demo that I'd heard. And then he said, yeah. And I was like, shit, that was like kind of easy. I thought it would be, I thought we'd have to like beg him or something. Like,
Yeah.
and yeah, we like, yeah, he fucking killed it. Like that was just like, we got there and he just knew like off the bat like what to do. Like my man's a musical genius. That shit was crazy.
Yeah.
Like as like I don't know how to describe it because I kind of went into it just like, and I always say this to people. I'm like, yeah, I'm trying to make it sound like shit. Like I don't want it to sound like clear, like because like the HM2 tone, it's all like, and you know I love like feedback and like I said, like I literally told Hunter when we like got there, he's like he like was like wondering, you know, just like kind of shooting the shit, like what like kind of reference do you want for like the production? I was like Nails and Silent Death, like that's like how that's like the vibe I wanted, and like honestly, like listening to it while like Hunter, like a Graveview has like the same kind of like, you know, HM2 kind of vibe. Like he kind of like nailed that in the respect that yeah, it sounds like fuzzy and like huge and distorted, but like, you can still really hear everything, which is like wild because I think when we play live and I don't have somebody who knows what they're doing there, like, you know, to guide me, I just turn everything on 10, call it a day, and I'm ripping.
Yeah. That's crazy, man. So HM2, you getting that new Waza HM2?
Dude, I have a left-hand Wrath, and honestly, like as much as I want to like try the Waza HM2, I'm not gonna like drop 200. But I mean, I guess I should. Like, I always wrestle with that because I'm like, I guess I should get like a backup, right? But at the same time, like kind of like I'm really confident in this pedal. So
Yeah. No,
yeah.
absolutely, man. Yeah, I'm a gear whore, so I already got
Oh
mine on
really?
back order.
Dude,
Yeah, I
I'm the
got.
worst with gear. Like when we were in Kong, like I didn't even have like an actual pedal board. I had a piece of plywood and I took a bunch of pieces of Velcro and like smacked them to like the back of like the three pedals I had and just put them on the ground. And it was like disgusting because like, you know, like even you're like, because I have like a regular like pedal train like pedal board now, you know what I mean, like a human being. And like even that like requires some cleaning, but like dude, the plywood was horrible. It was like it wouldn't fit anywhere. Like it was huge and I had like three pedals.
Fuck.
Yeah, and it would like, you know, like dust, hair, whatever, what have you, is
Yeah.
all over the place.
It's just a mess. Yeah, that's how my garage is right now. I have fucking I mess around. I'm always moving shit around on my board, and I don't even have a board, dude. I literally like I'm just cables right now.
Yeah.
I will drop, you know, 150. The last pedal I bought was a OD808 Maxon, but it was like a limited edition 1 of 200 modded by Cataline Bread. So it like I don't know what the fuck they did with it, but it sounds nasty. And I'm always moving that shit around like forward and back, blending overdrives, like just fucking with my shit. It's so fun. I'm
See,
never satisfied.
honestly mad respect for that because like I yesterday, like we got to the place, I put like I don't know, my settings on like my amp are like all like not all on 10, like but they're like pretty much it's almost dimed. And then like all the settings on the left hand Wrath are also almost dimed. And uh, when we were like just doing sound check at the place, John Pence was singing in this band called Lay Waste, and he's also like the bass player in Prison. I don't know if you've ever heard of that band, but he goes like, "Oh yeah, like give it a little more bass." So I'm like, "Bro, everything's dimed. I'm just gonna take the treble off."
Oh shit. That's crazy, man. Yeah, I know. I started like scooping out the mids. I don't even know what the fuck I'm doing with my tone, man.
Honestly, that I mean, like that's kind of the fun part, right? Is like
Yeah.
you're just like delving into this unknown of like. I used to scoop the mids like when I was like younger, just because like I read that that's what like Metallica did.
Yep.
Like, I was like, I saw that on the internet. I was like, shit, might as well.
Yeah. Yeah, like I read like Chuck Schuldiner did that and Dimebag did that, and I was just like,
Dimebag, yeah.
"Fuck, I'm doing that shit," and I did it, and I'm like, it still sounds like shit, and it's funny because I was listening to Heaven the other day in my car, and I was just like, "Fuck, man, how does he dial it in?" I was like, I need to know. That shit sounds good. Fuck, dude.
Dude, literally, like I didn't even use like my left hand rat. I think we used Hunter's left hand rat. Like I plugged into Hunter's board and it was just like, that good? Like, yeah, that's literally what I wanted. He's like, perfect, cool, let's track.
That's badass, dude. Yeah, I like the fucking aesthetic on the EP too. It's just it's fucking crazy. Like what? So how do you commission art like that? Because that I'm not gonna lie, dude. Like out of my all of my shit that I've gotten last year, once I get that, I fucking and I'm not even talking about the actual vinyl itself. The just the cover art.
Yeah.
How the fuck do you commission a piece of art like that?
So what's crazy is that like I'm very picky about like our art. Like Pigeon sends me shit all the time. Like no, no, no. Like, and it's not because it's bad. It's just like I know in my like I just go by feel. I don't really have anything like. It's like even when I like write a song, like I don't like. It's like the riffs can be cool and the song could be nice, but I'm like, if I don't like get excited like listening to it, I'm like, that's not it. Like, you know what I mean? Because I feel like I've done that before with so much stuff and it's come out lackluster, and like that's why. Because at the end of the day, you know, you're not guaranteed that someone else is gonna hear it and like enjoy it if you don't like it. Like, you know, that
Yeah.
whole like little like saying they used to have on like English teachers like shit in like the classrooms, like no tears in the writer, no tears in the reader. It's kind of like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like, so the what's funny is that you said the dude that was standing like this, like I had that in my head when I watched this like little like YouTube like documentary about this if I might butcher the name, this Roman emperor named Hadrian. He like would kill people, like he would execute people with like this thing called like the brazen bull, and
Yeah.
he would literally like you just get cooked like
Yeah.
inside this fucking like. And so I thought about I read this thing or I watched this thing on like YouTube or like History Channel or some shit about like the History Channel YouTube about like this saint getting killed like that, like with his family, and I guess like, and that's like real. Apparently, that was like some real shit. Like that wasn't like anything made up. And I was like, yo, imagine like fucking like being a saint, like devoting your whole life to like God, and then just getting fucking killed like that, and then just going to hell. And that's like where I
Jesus.
came up with that. Yeah, right. Like, and that's like just kind of where I came up with like that concept of like the record. That's like what like Nazis Patani's to Live and Die is about.
Yeah.
Like that is like also influenced kind of like by Deicide, like just in I like the title track, like what I say in the like verse, it says like "In Hell I Burn," which is like a song off of Legion
Yeah.
shirt that I'm wearing.
That's fucking wild, man. Yeah, that theme of like fuck, like we live in such a fucked up world and there's no avoiding it. Like that's that vibe I got from it. It's just like we like the the fucking the fucking like inhumanities and shit that we're constantly seeing and we're living in it. Like we're in hell. That's why today I'm doing the interview from hell because I was like straight up, dude. Like I fucking I was reading it and I read somewhere in another interview you did. I can't remember where it was, but they said you didn't call it a concept project though, like a concept album.
I wouldn't say that it's cohesive enough to be a concept record. I think that there's like some prevailing themes, but I wouldn't say it's a concept.
Yeah, I think Blood Matted Blade was the only song that took it out of that. Like,
well,
or what do you think?
If we want to be like nitpicky, now that
Yeah.
I'm here, like, like Blood Matted Blade was like, what's funny is that so when I was I got COVID like a month or two ago.
Fuck.
And, yeah, I mean like I was fine, like realistically. I was
Yeah.
just quarantined, is what I was saying. So
Yeah,
like,
that
me and my
sucks.
girlfriend, yeah, me and my girlfriend had it like the same time,
Yeah.
and we were quarantined, and we were she put on this like History Channel shit on YouTube, and I was like, yo, this, and it was like about the Aztecs, and that's literally like I was like, yo, this is the fucking documentary I saw when I was a kid that made me think about this, and when I wrote the lyrics to Blood Matted Blade about. Like,
That's
it was
fucking
like
nuts.
they used to take like people up on like those like pyramids that are like kind of square
Yeah.
that they have in like Mexico. Yeah, well, like they used to take people to like the top of that, and then they would like, and it would always be like a young kid or some shit, and they would like fucking cut them open and rip their heart out, and then they would like toss the fucking body like down the pyramid. Like that's mad disrespectful, but like whatever. Like they thought that was like the shit, and like people would be partying at the bottom. So like that's what Blood Matted Blade is about.
Yeah.
Like I was just thought about how fucked that was. Like, and it's just like generally like the song on the demo, Sadness and Gore, was kind of like the mission statement for a lot of stuff, because it was like, I feel like a lot of death metal that I love personally, like Tomb of the Mutilated by Cannibal Corpse, like that's like all time favorite. Like I feel like there's a lot of like what's sort of like a power fantasy about like the violence that is like descripted, and I kind of wanted to make it like realer in the respect of like, yo, this is like sad, like it's horrendous. Like I want you to like not be happy about
Yeah,
it.
yeah.
Just because I feel like, oh no, sorry, keep going. I was just gonna ramble on.
Yeah. No, dude, that's what we're here for, man. I mean, shit, fucking. I was listening to an album I always go back to is None So Vile, like all the fucking time, just because every time I hear it, I hear new shit on it. It's so fucking good. But I was listening to it, and this time I was really getting into the lyrics of it, and like Worm, when he wrote that shit, he was saying like there were funny lines in it, like here and there. Like there was always like tongue-in-cheek humor almost when he's saying like vile ass shit. And I was like, when I went through your lyrics, I was reading it just after I was reading that, and I was like, this album is fucking serious, dude. Like this literally, like there is no like, you're not playing with that shit, and it's fucking good, man.
Yeah, I try to be like on my, I like at least in what I say, like be something that I can like, I don't know, just really feel when I'm like singing it. Like the lyrics for Heaven also have no real connection to the rest of it, in the respect that like I didn't write it about the same concept. I wrote Heaven about the anime Devilman Crybaby.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that was on Netflix, and it was just about like, have you watched it?
I haven't seen that, but I do watch anime.
The concept is more or less just like about like Satan. Satan is like, Lucifer, who's an angel, and like he has to like, he's like blown the world up like over and over again, kind of until he feels love. You know what I mean? So like I kind of just wrote it from his perspective of just being like, yo, fuck all y'all, essentially. Like, and I wrote that also like mad fast, because it was like, that was the one song that we got to Florida and I didn't have any lyrics for.
Really?
Yeah. So after we tracked everything, Hunter just sent me the instrumental, and I just sat outside in his backyard, like just pacing for like a few hours with it in my headphones, just being like, yeah.
That's crazy, man. I feel like that's the standout track too of the album. Like it's funny how shit like that works. Like, it's like you'll literally like, it'll be almost like an afterthought or some shit when you're working on something, and then it ends up being like iconic.
I mean, really, it wasn't like an afterthought. Like I tried to write lyrics. But like I said before, it's like I know when it's there and when it's not. But like sometimes, like I don't know, I'm like a serial procrastinator. So like if I'm not feeling it, like I know. Like even like, actually no, this might be another answer to another question. I'm not gonna say that.
It's all good. What puts you in your process? Like, I know like there are times where I'll start going and I'm just like, fuck this, I can't be making anything right now or working on anything. Like I just have to take a step away. Like for me, I catch a moment. Usually I hop in a shower and I get an idea in the shower or some shit, but other than that, like how do you get into the zone?
Well, I mean, musically, I feel like that can kind of be from listening to music. Like I don't like, it's kind of hard to like do that from listening to music, but like I don't know, like I'm very like particular about what I'm listening to when I know I need to write. So like I know I like, what I usually do is not listen to, like things that aren't metal, because then I'm like not in that headspace. Because like I've had that where I like, because I really like rap and like, classic rock and other shit that's not death metal, but that doesn't really help me like inspired. Like, like I love like Freddie Gibbs, but like nothing about like his record is gonna make me write an album about burning in hell. Like,
yeah.
So I listen to a lot of shit. I listen to a lot of shit that I listened to when I was younger. Like I tend to like, when I'm writing, I try to avoid stuff that I like right now at this moment. Like I almost try to like study older bands or bands that I look up to, You know, like I'm really into like Hate Eternal. I don't know if you know who like Eric Rutan is. Like I just like watch those like live videos from like 2006. I'm like, how does he do it? And that just like makes me want to like, all right, how do I make this shit sound more crazy? You know?
Yeah.
So like, and I mean the thing also I've realized is that like I can't force it. You know, sometimes it just comes out. But you know, then again, I'm also the master of like giving myself deadlines, even though like no one asked me to have a deadline. Like, so like when we went to record with Hunter, like that whole thing, like, you know, we just finished recording the demo and it was like, okay, so we have, so if it was done in September, like we had like a few songs, like I think we had like Heaven and like I might have had Blood Matted Blade written, like, or at least half written by then. But then all those other songs like did not exist. Like from like the day we sent Hunter the deposit to like when we got there, we wrote the like 90% of that EP. Like we did not, like it was not like a long easy process. Like every day, like I finished work and I was like, all right, now I'm gonna go into Guitar Pro and try to write a record.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't know. I don't really have like any crazy process. Like I just try to like, also like, I try to just like consume media that like would inspire me. You know what I mean? Like kind of like reaching back to like the Devilman thing or like any like documentaries that I would watch. Like that kind of stuff makes me want to like, you know, write something with like a similar tone. You know, like if it's something that's dark, I feel like it's almost like easier for me to like carry that like lightning in a bottle and shoot it the other way. You know?
Yeah. That's fucking crazy, man. Like fucking I noticed like the differing of the art going from the demo to the EP. Like
Yeah.
you had a really heavy occult like look on that cover, you know, like on the demo, and I was like, fuck, like this shit is crazy. And then the second one, I mean, I feel like the EP is more iconic, like with what you did, but what was the inspiration behind the demo's art? Like, do you fuck with the occult? You ever fuck around with the Ouija or no? You're
No,
like,
bro. I am like, dude, I'm so soft with that shit. Like the second someone pulls it out, I'm like, yo, I'm dipping. Like I am not playing games with this shit. Like I've watched Ghost Adventures, like however many seasons. That shit never works out for anybody.
Yeah.
Never have you play with a Ouija board and been like, oh yeah, then this cute little demon came up and helped me out throughout my whole life. Like, you know? Like, so yeah, no, I don't fuck with the occult. I definitely like, I've had like being Greek, I've had like a very heavy religious background, and I've never, and like honestly, like when I was a younger person, when I was like up until when I was like, you know, 15 or 16, like, I was scared to even like look up stuff about like the devil because I was like, fuck, he's gonna come get me or some shit. So I mean, my friend, but like Zach Wilson did that art for the demo, and like I had an idea initially about like what I want. I just wanted like a demon fucking someone up. Like I didn't need something like something particular. Like I wanted it to be kind of like ritualistic, but I didn't want it to have to be. You know what I mean? I kind of like the vagueness sometimes. Like I don't like like, and even like, you know, I tell you what all these lyrics are about, but in reality, like, you can kind of apply. I don't think that I feel like none of them really tell like a linear story. You know, like even like Blood Matted Blade, like I told you, like my inspiration for that was like the Aztecs, but you can kind of apply, like there are some words thrown in there that have nothing to do with that aspect. You know what I mean? So like you can put your own storyline there if you want to, you know, and like Heaven, you know, it's like, so it's almost like abstract. It's kind of like, you know, like the Rorschach kind of like therapy, where it's like, what do you see in this picture? So it's like, what do you see in these words? You know? So yeah, I mean, like that first thing was like, he sent it to me and I was like, yeah, that's it. And then he was like, yo, can I make these demons have big ass dicks? And I was like, hell yeah.
That's hard. That's fucking hard. I know. I noticed that on the cover. I was like, damn, dude, some motherfucking. I was like, I don't know if you've seen Goratori's latest album's artwork. No. Oh God, here. I don't even know if I can put this shit on Twitch. I might get DMCA'd. Hold on, or not DMCA'd, but fucking.
Copyright or whatever. I mean, if you have a physical copy of that, I don't think they can say shit.
No, I mean, they might try to get me for adult content showing this shit.
Oh, fuck.
Now, look at this. Fucking, literally just got like nut sacks all over the fucking album.
That's sick as fuck.
I was dying when I seen this. This was one of the albums where I was just like, I haven't heard it. I fucking need it.
Did you listen to it?
Yeah, I did listen to it. It's pretty off the hook. I mean,
I was gonna say, I've never heard of this band. I need to go home and look. I mean, I am home, but I mean, I need to, like, after this, I need to look that up.
Yeah, Goratori's pretty dope. They're like a slam kind of. It's like a brutal slam, like a lot going on kind of band. But they have their themes that they talk about, it's just absurd. I don't know what the genre is called, but there are a couple bands like it where they literally just talk about filthy, funny shit that's just like, but it's all screaming, so it sounds just bad as fuck.
So you can't tell. Yeah,
Yeah,
right.
like it's dope. But yeah, that album fucking was something I think of whenever I see, you know, the Johnsons on the albums and shit. But fuck, man, yeah, that was pretty crazy. Yeah, I was asking that question because like I used to, for a long time, I was turned off by like certain albums and shit because I'd see crazy ass shit on it. Like what was it? Like Black Dahlia, when they made Ritual, I was like, I fucking I want to hear it so bad, but I fucking can't. And then like even black metal, I love a lot of black metal bands, but I fucking would kind of like veer away from them just because I can't like fuck with the themes. But now,
I get you.
yeah, as I got older, I'm like, I fucking play anything to me now. I don't give a shit, you know. But
yeah, I think that like a lot of people who are like, because like, you know what's crazy is that like I was listening to a podcast with Kareem from Night Shift today, and he was talking about how much like religious shit gets like banned, and like certain people that like can't see it in like the printing process. Like if they print like the Cradle Filth like bestial masturbation thing, you know, that thing that says Jesus is a cunt on the back of the shirt, like they can't print that like during normal hours, right? Because like people get offended. And I'm like, yo, and like, you know, as people that listen to metal, like we never think about shit like that. Like I think that's like mad normal now, right? Like, you know what I mean? And like, you know, so like I forget that like when I was like 13, like I was like, I don't know if I can listen to Dark Throne. I don't think I'm fucking ready. Like, you know what I mean? Like I would see like dude, I didn't like it took me forever to bump black metal. It took me forever to bump like Deicide. I was like, yo, this song's called Fuck Your God. I don't think I can do that. Like, you know?
Yeah.
But then like at this point, it's just become such an abstract concept to me that I'm just like, you know, at this I'm writing fucked up shit about God. Like,
yeah, exactly.
You know?
It's like it's the music, and it cracks me up because it's not so offensive like it used to be. You know, I guess I didn't get to experience too much of that because I'm younger. But I know like back in like the 90s and the 80s, it was all fucking, you know, people were losing their shit about it. And it's like now they're losing their shit about Lil Nas X fucking doing a lap dance on the devil in a video.
Yeah. You know what? That was like a real wake up call to me too. Cause like every time I walk into a store and I'm like wearing some like fucked up t-shirt, like, you know, like I'll go to Wawa and I'll be like, man, what the hell is going on? Like, why is everyone staring at me like I did something wrong? I just like ordered a hoagie. Like, damn, is it that big a hoagie? My bad. Like, and like that was like, no, your shirt has like a zombie eating out another zombie on it. Like, everyone's gonna look at you. So like when like Lil Nas X had like, you know, gave the devil a lap dance, everyone's like, what the fuck? And I'm like, yo, like that's hard as shit. What are you talking about?
Yeah, like fuck, man. But it sucks because it's like Cannibal Corpse just dropped the album with like the you've seen the unedited cover. I got that one too, but fucking I fucking saw that and no one bats a fucking eye, and I'm just like, what the fuck? Like this shit is like they're topping themselves. How the fuck does Cannibal Corpse top themselves, you know, with their art? And
have you ever seen the Worm Infested art?
No, I haven't.
It was an EP they put out in like 2000 something. It was only like I think it's like 3 or 4 songs, or it might just be 1 song. Songs. I know there's like a bunch of covers. They have a sick version of No Remorse by Metallica. Hard as shit. But yeah, it's like an EP they did, and the cover art is like nasty. I don't know. Like it's just like the texture in like the piece of it is just like palpable. Like they have like right? Like did you see it?
I'm
like,
looking at it right now. Oh Jesus.
Yeah.
That's off the hook, dude.
Yeah, and I mean, you know what? Like people, I forgot when it was that like I found out that because like I'm also young. I'm like 23. I'm gonna be 24 in October. I was like, some people were like pissed that like when they put out Kill, that it just had the word Kill on the front. Like they didn't have like a fucked up like thing. And I was like, yo, like I mean, I don't know. In my opinion, Cannibal Corpse should do whatever the fuck they want. Like Cannibal Corpse would, like bust into my house and beat my ass and leave, and I'd be like, yo, that shit was sick.
Yep. Yeah, fuck yeah. Yeah, they're another one of those fucking bands that has just been around for so fucking long. And I literally just started listening to them, I want to say during the beginning of the pandemic too. I never fucked with Cannibal Corpse. There was I used to be a really closed-minded kind of person.
Yeah, hey man, and that happens.
There was an individual that I didn't like that hella like Cannibal Corpse. I was like,
Yeah.
man, fuck that band. I ain't listening to them, you know. And then I was like, last year I watched I started watching all these documentaries on different bands, and I watched their documentary, and I was like, oh fuck. And I'm almost kind of happy that I never listened to them, because now I get to hear all that shit for the first time.
I always think about that. Like, to be honest, like, I wish I could hear death metal for the first time again. I like wish, because like I remember being 13 and like I was like really like I was such like a fucking like elitist about shit. Like when I was like 12, bro. Like just from like reading YouTube comments, I was like, "Yep, Slayer is the only good band. Every other band with screaming is stupid." Like you know what I mean? And I remember I heard Hammer Smash Face on like YouTube, like because I didn't have like you didn't have like Spotify yet, so I was just like, I put it on and I was just like, I'm like, the guitars are cool, vocals are dumb, you know. And then but then the next day, like I wake up, it'd be like a Saturday, and I'd just be like, I kind of want to put that song on again though. And then from there, just like hard snowball, you know.
Yeah, it gets stuck in your fucking head, and you just can't do anything about it. There's this one band that I could not get their fucking song out of my head for a week. They're called Der Wig Einer Freiheit.
I've heard of that band. I like seen it, but then like I have no way of looking it up.
Yeah. Yeah, I heard one of their songs and I was like chewing my food, and like in my head it started going to the beat of me chewing. I was like, what the fuck? Am I having a fucking breakdown here? Like, what's going on? I was tripping out. I'm like Googling WebMD songs stuck in my head. What the fuck? Am I like losing it? But I like I'm always sleep deprived and shit, so that kind of shit's normal. But bro, yeah, man.
That is like bad. If you're like trying to write, like that's honestly like the worst rabbit hole I go down. Like I'm like, yo, like I need to finish this song. It's 1 a.m. and then it's like 4 a.m. and I'm like, I'm not done. But I'm just like, all right, yo, go to bed. Because like I just go down this vicious cycle. I'm like, oh well, I did it yesterday. Might as well do it again today. And then like I'm like sitting here, like my mom will see me or my girlfriend will see me, and I'm just sitting there like, you good? And I'm like, no.
Fuck yeah, dude. I feel that. I woke up at 2 a.m. last night planning for this. I woke up at 2 a.m. I like the dog was up or some shit, woke me up, and I laid there for an extra hour. I was like, fuck, I need to get some better questions, man. Does he like pumpkin spice? I was thinking of all sorts of weird ass shit. I didn't know what the fuck.
I love all your questions, man. You're doing a good job, man. It was worth staying up the extra hour then. Fuck it. Like
right on. Yeah. No, I appreciate you coming here, man. Fucking shit. I got some more.
Yeah, by all means, ask away. I don't have any like time restriction.
Oh, right on. So, fuck, man. You already hit some of the ones I didn't even get to yet, which is awesome. I guess like you were talking about that like elitist like way that you felt. It's crazy because I feel like with metal there's a lot of fucking gatekeeping. It's like and it's funny because it goes hand in hand with like gaming, like,
oh
yeah dude, same shit. If
I'm not in like the loop for like my like dude, like when you and Kareem were like, or like when you were like posting that thing about like like we're on our stream and then Kareem said some shit about some old ass games, I was like, bro, is that a new game? I have no clue. Like that's why I said like, yo, Halo split screen, because that was like the last game that I like really knew about. I mean, I played that's not true. I mean, like the last game I gamed on hard was like Jump Force. I don't know if you ever heard of that.
Oh yeah,
like,
yeah.
Fighting game.
I got fun.
I got good at that for a minute, and then at some point, like, I was like beating all my friends, and then one of my friends just whooped my ass so bad, and I just got so pissed off, and I just literally haven't touched my Xbox since.
Really?
Yeah, because that's my issue, is that like with music, like I can get pissed off all day. It's not gonna make the song any like more done or better. Like with games, I'm just like, fuck. And I just like, it just makes me agitated. Like I can't keep doing that to myself. Like I'm gonna just have blood pressure problems.
No, absolutely. Yeah, that was me earlier playing that shit that they tweeted or they posted on the IG. I was like, you know what? These guys fucking keep talking about this shit. I'm gonna play this shit for 5 hours straight. And I made it.
See? Oh, sorry, you keep talking. My bad.
Yeah, no, I made it 3 hours, and I was like, "Fuck this! I can't fucking keep going." I was so pissed. I was yelling. I was all fucking mad. Fuck,
dude. When Kareem, like, I said something about like, yo, what are these old heads talking about? And Kareem like said like, oh yeah, my bad, they're gonna do some shit about Roblox. And I was like, yo,
Yeah.
I can't come back from that. Like he got me so good.
It should have me rolling. I was just
Yeah.
dying. I was cracking the fuck up, man. Yeah, no, my relationship with well shit, that's another thing I was gonna ask about too. How did the relationship with Night Shift merch come into fruition?
Also during so like while we were recording this record, our drummer Mike was talking to Hunter about Night Shift, and I'm like, okay, that sounds vaguely familiar, and because I'm sure I'd seen it in the past, but I like didn't really pay attention to it because I in the past would just kind of like, all right, cool, this band has merch. Where do I get merch from? Here, cool, got it. Like I didn't have like a preference. But then what had happened was Hunter was like, yeah, I'll give you this dude Kareem's number, and he'll open up the warehouse for you guys on your way back from like on your way to Jersey. You know what I mean? So we stopped at the Night Shift warehouse, and to preface this, like I love like the Black Dahlia DVDs that like Kareem is featured in.
Yeah.
Like, and I was watching them like the night before we left for Florida, just to like, so I was like, fuck it, like this is like, you know, like inspiration. Like I was just like mad hyped to like just get in a van with my boys and just like drive. And so, we finally get to the warehouse, and Kareem like his car pulls up, he opens the door, I come out of like the passenger side, and I see him, and I was like, yo, this guy looks mad familiar. Like, who is this guy? And then, like, I shake his hand. I'm like, hey, man, I'm Theo. Like, I'm the guy you were texting. And Mike's like, that's the guy who tour managed Black Dahlia. And I was like, oh, my God. And then, like, we go in there, and I was like, this is the coolest fucking place I have ever been in. Like, it is just, like, all these sick-ass shirts, like, and we all dropped like fucking mad money on merch. I was just like, fuck it, I'm here, I'm getting mad shirts. And then he said like, oh yeah, like by the way, like, you know, when you guys are done with this, like hit me up about putting out a shirt. And I was like, fuck yeah. And so then, you know, I did the process of like, that's like my least favorite is like once like some like music is done, the most annoying thing is like, it's not, I mean, like, you know, producers and shit gotta like, you know, take their time, and artists gotta take their time making the art. But I'm just like, give it to me now. I want to put this record out yesterday. Like, and so, you know, because I had gotten Kareem, like I'd like met him, and that was like December. It was like we got back home from recording in Florida like New Year's Day, like New Year's like Eve. And so then like I hit up Kareem in like whatever, like late March, early April. And we were on the phone because I had had the art and the record was done. And, you know, we talked to John from Frozen Screams about like the tape. And so he had all that stuff done. And I was like, yo, what can we do about vinyl? And John had told me something about like, you know, vinyl, as we all know, is like backed up like a motherfucker right now. And he was like, I don't know how we can do that right now. And then when I talked to Kareem about the shirt, he was like, are you guys doing physicals? And I was like, yeah, we're doing cassettes. And he's like, are you doing vinyl? And I was like, well, we were trying to figure that out. He's like, I have a better idea. He's like, I can do the vinyl. And I was like, hell yeah. And so then like from there, like, you know, now he roasts me about like being a fucking Zoomer like on his Instagram story. Like, yeah, from like the first day we met him, he's just been super cool. So
yeah, that shit's crazy. That vinyl, fuck, I'm going to pull it up in a minute. Well, I'm going to show off all your merch on the site before we tap out. But fuck, dude, that vinyl. I saw the vinyl, and I tell my girlfriend every time, I have to show her, or my fiance, every time I make a purchase, because I fucking, like the monthly drops they've been doing for the Black Dahlia, I bought every single fucking piece of merch that they've released.
Hell yeah.
And it's probably like it's beyond my means, but it's fucking I was so pissed because this is the first shirt I ever bought. It's the fucking Def Leppard
hell yeah
album cover. She actually got it for me as a gift.
I fucking love Def Leppard. I think that's such an underrated record.
Oh, absolutely. And it's funny because what's it called? Like when Trevor talked about it, he was like, "Oh, I really didn't you know, that album kind of I just said make the most badass, you know, like 80s death metal album cover and just put it on there, and, you know, just make a place that, oh, I really wouldn't want to be." And I was like, dude, when I saw this album art, I was like, what the fuck? And listening to it, like, it's funny, like listening to Ryan Knight on the guitar on that shit, because I don't know if you've heard like his solo shit that he's made after.
No, I haven't. No.
He plays like I don't know if you could call it like bluegrass now.
It's kind of like jazz, kind of,
Yeah.
right? Like
It's
you hear that in his playing, like the solos and stuff. They're very like he goes in and out of everything so easy, so fluidly, like, and it's so catchy. But it's also like impossible to play at the same time. Like, dude, I have no like as a guitar player, like my end, I'm at like the complete opposite of the spectrum. Like, I'm just like, are we like? It's like there is no key, face the wall. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just like, does this sound cool? Cool.
Yep. Yeah. Oh, just scream louder if it fucking doesn't sound good. Just
Yeah.
fuck. But no, fucking that album's fucking wild, man. Like I just like the way that he does that shit. He plays all jazzy. Like Ryan Knight's a total trip. You know, I was sad when I saw him leave, and then Brandon Ellis came, and I'm like, this fucking guy. I took a lesson from Brandon Ellis
Really?
last year.
Mm-hmm.
I've been playing 10 years. No, fuck, 15 years, dude. I've been playing for 15 fucking years. And one lesson from Brandon Ellis, like 30 minutes with this guy, I realized I don't know what the fuck I'm doing with the guitar. Like I was apologizing the entire class. Like I was just like, I'm sorry, man. My fingers don't want to do what you're saying. I'm just like,
that's like. I actually like recently took lessons with Adam D'Amico from Lorna Shore.
Okay.
And yeah, like I was like, he had like asked me like he had like a little like thing. It was like, yeah, give me some info about yourself, like, you know, how long you've been playing guitar. And I was just sitting there, I was like, I've been playing guitar for 13 years. I was like, this man's gonna be like, you sound like you picked up. He didn't say, like, he was a very like nice guy, obviously, but I was like sitting there thinking like, oh my god, he's gonna be think I've been playing guitar for 13 minutes, like the way I'm like playing. Like he's like, you don't know any theory. I'm like, no, it's zero. Like I don't know shit. Like that's what, like taking guitar lessons. I think like at our age is like so eye opening because I feel like when you've been playing guitar for like 10 plus years, you think you know. And then you don't like at all.
No, absolutely. And I'm like, fuck, because I started taking college classes at the same time. And they're talking about how like they're talking about the human brain in this class and like how synapses form and like electrical pathways are just normal.
It's like was it like neurology?
It was just English, dude. My teacher
was
super into the brain, and she's talking about how like these electrical pathways form and fucking like by repeating the same action over and over again, you build these connections. And I'm just sitting there like, it was right when I learned it. I'm like, my brain doesn't have the fucking right connections to fucking do this shit. And they say like once you hit like, I think it's like 20 something, everything starts pruning. So you start losing connections and it gets harder to make new connections. And I was like, God damn it, I fucked up. Like I missed my chance being a guitar hero. Fuck.
Hey man, you could just, like I feel like as much as like theory and stuff is cool in certain contexts, it's not as important as it's like. It's not that it's not important. It's like you will use it inadvertently is really what's gonna happen. You know what I mean? And just like I don't know. I think like music is just like you doing you. You know, there's no like any like Brandon Ellis could teach you guitar for fucking. I mean, he could probably if he taught you guitar for 10 years, you'd probably be a fucking monster. But like I'm saying, like I mean, now that I think about it, but I'm saying like anybody could teach you something, but like you won't like to write something that is like something that you really feel. I think that's like really it. You know what I mean? Like because that's the thing. It's like I think that those people that like know all that shit, they can just weaponize that. Like think about like all right, we were talking about Deflorate, like the riff to Black Valor, like just like. And like I love like the intro riff, but like it's that riff in like the middle where it's like like the I was like like that shit just like hits you. Like there's no like you can't deny it. You know what I mean? It's like when you can do something that's like undeniable, like something that's like very genuine, like musically, like I think that's like the apex of songwriting. It's not like Dream Theater fucking sitting here going
Satriani fucking.
Dude, think about how many so many fucking like basement guitar heroes that rip, but like they can't write a song, I mean, I'm not sitting here acting like I can write a song. I'm trying, but like we still learn it.
Well, shit, man, you wrote fucking some pretty badass songs on this last fucking EP, man. What's next? What's next as far as recording? Like, are you guys ready to jump back in? Do you already got some new shit, or are you like, just want to play what you got right now and do as many shows as you can?
So I kind of feel like the state of music is not like in a way where you can just like sit on shit after a while. You know what I mean? Like as much as I think our record is still cool, like I don't like dislike it, but excuse me, like so I'm gonna be going to Florida again in like 2 weeks to go meet up with Hunter and make like I think we're gonna track 3 songs.
You heard it
And
here first.
yeah, announcement. It's the first time we had an official announcement, but yeah, so we've been working on shit. I've posted some like not direct at all. Like I'll just on like my personal Instagram, like videos of me like playing riffs and shit. Some of
Yeah.
them are gonna make it, some of them haven't. Um, but like yeah, like we're gonna have that. I don't know when that's gonna. That's the thing. It's like I didn't really want to like give you a hard deadline or anything, but I'm gonna
Oh
go
yeah.
record soon. So, yeah, that should be. And I would say it would probably like be out like at the very earliest at the end of this year, but more realistically the beginning of next year. Um, just because we want to make sure everything's right, because otherwise I don't want to put it out.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
that's what's next at the moment. Otherwise, we're just trying to fucking play shows, and after that, who knows?
Yeah, shit. What's the schedule looking like? I know you guys just knocked out 2 shows right
Mhm.
now. Are you guys like thinking a mini tour or some shit? Or before we jump into shows, I wanted to ask, how long's your set list? How long?
Oh, not very long.
Yeah.
We play like 15 minutes sets. Like,
Okay.
dude, honestly, the coolest shit was yesterday. We covered that song "Jesus Saves" by Slayer.
Yeah.
Uh, fuck it. It was, and we learned it like the night, like, we learned it like we didn't do it on Saturday, but then like at some point, like I think we weren't driving, we were just hanging out, like at we all like stayed at my girlfriend's place, in between the 2 shows. And at some point, I played that song for Pigeon, and he was like, "Yo, that's hard as shit. We should open with that tomorrow." And I was like, "Yes!" And and we just did it like acoustically with like just our guitars like not plugged in, and then like our drummer like tapping like the sides of like the chair,
Yeah.
and we opened with it, and it was fun as hell. But like no one like we thought that people were gonna be like, "Yo, you're playing Slayer," and like no one fucking knew what we were doing.
Yeah.
It was so funny because everyone was like, "What is this song?"
Yeah.
It was like some B-side off Rain and Blood, like that nobody cares about at this point, I guess.
That's fucking sick, man. That you can, have fun with it and shit. Like you're enjoying doing all the shows and shit right now. Like
Yeah.
while you're still, I feel like you guys are literally like the kettle that's about to fucking start whistling, dude. Like seriously, you're on the
Thank you.
precipice of shit. As I feel like this, once this vinyl comes out, it's gonna be a good thing. Hopefully, it gets in the hands of like Fontano or somebody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Bro, if Anthony Fantano reviews my record, like, so you know what? This is one of those things where I'm going to say something really stupid, and then, like, it'll happen. I'll be like, I'll suck my own dick. And then they're like, hey, you got to do it now.
Yeah, he's gonna call you out on that shit. He will.
Yeah.
Fuck, he be wilding on Instagram. I see him
He does.
with the
He does.
Kanye, just like giving Kanye hella shit for the albums, and then
Dude, it's so funny because, like, Pigeon, our bass player, is like obsessed with like just like I don't know, up to date like current music, and I'm just like, what the fuck is this? Like we'll just be like together. Like when we were driving like from I don't know if it was to Florida or back from Florida, like he put on like a whole SZA album, and I was like, bro, like. Are you trying to like seduce me? Like, so like even like he pulled up to like the show like on Saturday, like just like bumping the new Drake record, and I was like, yo, come on. Just 'cause, I mean, I don't think anybody came here for my horrible rap opinions, but I don't think Drake's made a good record since Nothing Was the Same, personally.
yeah. I'm on the fence. I mean, there's some shit that comes here and there, but yeah, good album,
Good album, right?
Yeah,
That's what I'm saying.
album.
Like big difference, because like yeah, I fucked with Kiki. Do you love me? Like,
Yeah,
I'm not gonna act like I did.
he gets a good single here and there. When he was funking with Pusha T was when I was last really like
Dude,
into Drake.
Pusha T is the fucking dude. Like
Yeah.
I like Pusha T a lot. Like there's just some rappers that I think are mad metal, and I think Pusha T is mad metal.
Yeah, it's
Like he literally does like the fucking like the bleh. Like he goes like yeah in between
Yeah.
like the verses and shit. Like
You fuck with talking hip hop. You fuck with Noriega.
No, I never heard that. I
No,
don't know
that's some East Coast hip hop, man. You gotta check out
Bro.
some Noriega.
Dude, I have like I feel like there's just so much shit that I've just been sleeping on in my life. Like I forgot like something else. I mean, like, yeah, I guess it's also like Kareem would like tell me about like, oh, you ever heard of this band? I'm like, yo, no, where's this been my whole life? Like, so like, you know how you're telling me that you buy records just because of like what they look like. Let me see if I have it up here. If I can I step away for a second and get this record to
Yeah,
show you?
sure.
So So all the East Coast homies probably know about there's this really big vinyl store or just like record store in Jersey called Vintage Vinyl that recently closed down. And but like before they even made the announcement, I just happened to go there with who did I go with? Oh yeah, I went with Pigeon and Alex. So like I went with Weeping essentially. And I went there and I was just like, just like scalping through all like the death metal shit. I was like trying to find like known shit, but I guess everyone else was like taking it. And I found this one record, and this album art really got me. Like,
Damn, that shit looks crazy.
yeah,
Smut. Who is that?
so it's Pungent Stench.
Pungent Stench.
The album is called Smut Kingdom. And you know what? So the band Pungent Stench is like this. Drop that. It's all
Oh
right.
shit.
That's fine. We're good. Everything's fine. It didn't break. I'm clumsy as shit. This is why I can't have nice things. So, like, Pungent Stench, like, so after talking to Kareem about it, because I, like, went home and I was like, I don't care what this sounds like. I just need to have it because it looks cool as shit. And I didn't do any kind of, like, research. And I was like, all right, well, the logo's all, like, death metal and shit. So I go home, put it on the record player, and it's like, are you aware of like that? Like in Europe, it was kind of popping for a minute, like the late '90s. Like Entombed kind of did it too. It was like Death and Roll, or it's
Yeah.
like very rock kind of death.
Carcass type, like.
Not even. It's like
Yeah.
literally like Motorhead with like.
Oh,
death. Like,
okay.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
okay, okay, okay.
So like, that's like the whole album is just like fucking. I don't even know how to describe it. Just like open hi hat or like closed hi hat shit. Like
Yeah.
like where they're just like. Just rock beats and some dude going like and honestly, like it kind of put me on because I wasn't really into that death and roll shit before I listened to that record, but that's what like that was cool. And then when I told Kareem about that, he showed me the first the first two Pungent Stench records that are just like actually like brutal as shit. So like
Yeah.
You learn a thing or two doing that.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Like it's funny how like bands change. Like, they'll be like doing they'll change to like adapt or try to be more marketable and shit. I know that they thought Black Dahlia was gonna do that when they were touring with Warped Tour. Like everybody was like, "Oh, they're gonna be seen and shit now."
Well, what's funny is that was I think my first metal show was Black Dahlia at Warped Tour in 2013, and that was the only reason I went to Warped Tour because like I was like I don't care about like literally any other band. Like, but I was like, but I just heard Everblack, and I was like,
yeah. That album is so fucking crazy because I remember when I just gave it another listen this last month, and I was like, fuck, man, like it has so many iconic guitar solos on it that like literally like because I like looked at some of the songs and I'm like I forgot what they sound like Go to Departure and this song and that song
or
and
like dude I think like not to cut you off, like the later songs on that album have like crazy guitar. I think the song Map of Scars has this like crazy like classical part. Like I remember like listening to that for the first time being like what the fuck.
Yeah, they go all out on their final track. I feel like too on every album they always try to I think like it was Apex Seppuku on which album?
On Everblack the last one was what? Seppuku?
Oh, it was Map of Scars.
Oh, it was Map of Scars?
Yeah, Map of Scars wrapped up the album. Yeah, they did Blood in the Ink on Ritual and then fucking
what am I thinking on Death Rate they had was I Will Return, right?
Yep, exactly.
Yeah, bro,
it's always like
crazy.
They come in strong, they end strong, It's crazy, man. Like how do you feel about putting together like cuz I feel like the next one's an album. We got the demo. We got the EP.
I did tell you that like we're gonna do 3 songs, so the next thing is not an album.
Okay, so you're gonna do 3, and okay, so it's not
they're not, and like I am not here to overstay my welcome. Like I do not like writing long songs. I personally like.
Yeah.
I don't think that like I don't like I just want to make it as interesting as possible. I just want it to just be like short and sweet. Like even when I was like a kid and I would like write essays and shit, like they'd be like, "We need this many words." I always be like, "I'm doing less than that. I'm not doing that." Um, but I mean, an album will happen, like so long
Yeah.
as we can. There's no definite stuff as to like when we're gonna do that, but like I just have to write it. We have a lot of songs written that like are done, but aren't gonna be on this little EP. But we're gonna have more time afterwards. Like I would like to do an album eventually, and like I try to like when I do it, like when we like figured out like the track listing, like I wanted to make it like I don't know. I wanted to just make it so that you couldn't expect what the next song was gonna sound like as far as like just sonically. You know what I mean? Like the vibe. Like I wanted it to just be consistently interesting, like consistently heavy. Like I don't like even like one of the hard parts about doing this honestly has been like this little three song has just been like not repeating myself, which is hilarious because like I think back to like how many bands that I love that are like huge ass bands that like definitely repeat themselves at some points, like even just musically, like oh like and like that's but like at the same time like that's just kind of some shit you have to deal with, you know what I mean? Like in
Yeah.
my own mental blocks.
No, absolutely. Yeah, as a lyricist, I always struggle with that. Like, I say the same shit here and
Mhm.
there, like in my lyrics. I'm just like, fuck, man. Like, I gotta
Do you
fucking.
sing or just do lyrics?
I do hip hop. So
Oh hell yeah, hell
yeah,
yeah.
I've been making rap for like 15 years. I
Good
started,
shit.
I used to do like some screaming rap and shit for a little bit, but it was just taking a lot out of me. So I've been on pretty much hiatus for the last like 4 years or so. It kind
Do you
of
fuck with Ghostmane?
that was the type of sound that I was getting. I was doing it back in 2015. It was right before XXX Tentacion came out.
Yeah.
And I did that scream shit. Like I used to be called White Django. I did a show where I fucking in Oakland, dude. I killed it. I
Eh?
quit my job the day after I killed it at this show because I had been
Damn.
trying to find my sound for years. I had nothing lined up either, but
Mhm.
I was just like, I remember I did this crazy ass show. It's on YouTube somewhere. I'll send it to
Mhm.
you.
Hell yeah.
But yeah, I did this crazy ass show. I killed it, and I was just like, I finally found it. I was literally experimenting with show to show to show. It went from people just not paying attention, sitting around, and like I did metal at the time too, but I can never find a band like people that would fucking play with me. Everybody
Yeah.
out here, dude, like I don't know. I'm just not in the scene enough,
Mhm.
but I fuck with a lot of people that want to play like new metal, and I'm like,
Yeah.
I want to play some heavy shit, but
Dude, that's like the new kind of like wave, like new metal core,
mhm.
Like,
Yeah,
and I
yeah.
mean, no, I mean, I feel like personally, like a lot of the stuff that like was popping in like when we were like, how old are you? Like
I'm
my age?
dude, I'm 29, bro.
I mean, yeah, you're a little older than me. I'm 20, so I guess I'm 23. But I feel like a lot of the stuff that was like popping in like the early 2000s is like popping again now. Like even just death metal, like that was like, I mean, I wouldn't say the early 2000s death metal was popping, but like it was more alive than it was in like at least from my perspective as however young I was at any point in time prior. But it's the most popping it's been for like the last, in my opinion, like what 10 years. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Oh,
Like
dude, just this last year and a half alone has been
yeah,
fucking crazy. The like new bands, Sangui Sugarbog, I feel like,
yeah,
and Undeath are like the two
yeah,
forefront guys that really just broke through last year, and I was
exactly.
like fuck. I haven't heard like metal albums that have been like it's weird because it's strangely familiar, but it's new. It's a breath of fresh air, and like
Mhm.
you guys, like this EP was the third thing that I fucking heard that really like got through. I was just like shit, like
It's
you
high
know.
praise, man. Thank you.
Yeah, no, I really think that this is, you guys killed it with the artwork. That's what draws me in initially with anything. Sangui
Yeah.
Sugarbog, I heard of them and I saw the video with the monster dongs that they did,
Yeah.
and I was like, I remember like a couple months went by, and then I was like, fuck, what was that band with the monster dongs? So I messaged Trevor on Twitter. I was like, yo, dude, what was that band with the monster dong? He's like, Singly Sugarbog. I was like, oh fuck yeah. So I listened to it, and then Dead as Shit came out by then, and then I heard that,
Yeah.
and then the music really drew me in. I was like, oh fuck, because like I said, like you listen to shit, and the more you listen to it, different layers get uncovered, and you get
Yeah.
more into like certain bands and shit.
Yeah, I think the Sanguine Sugar Bog is crazy. Like I like as a guitar player, I feel like I always listen to like bands for like the riffs, But Sanguine Sukabog is like a band where just like the drum beats are so creative that like you're just so like I don't know. I think that like the new album like because I like the first EP they put out, but like I like the album is
Yeah.
like they like knocked it out of the park with that. That shit was crazy. And I mean, Undeath, same thing. Like they had prior releases that were like really good, and then the album, banger.
Yeah.
Like,
They had so much fun with it. It's like you hear
yeah,
like just their lyrics are just fucking funny because they tell little stories and shit.
and
And
they're
it,
like catchy. I think Undeath is like, and also same thing for Sanguine Sukublog. Like they're both just very catchy bands. You know, like I love that. Like I think it's like Suitably Hacked to Gore, where like there's like that the Pleasure to Kill by Creator, like the piccolo drum fill, like the I love that shit. Like I love all like the part of the reason I like doing weeping and stuff is like the hearkening to like the shit that I wasn't around for. You know what I mean? Like I love like the last song even on the EP, Still Burn the Sickening Blasphemy. Like when we play that live, like because we always play like essentially like deathcore or hardcore shows, just due to like the fact of like the lack of a lot of death metal shows in the area. Like everyone's always just staring at us like while we do that, and like we're just going holy fuck because it's just like I don't know, it's not like the hardest guitar riff, but it's like at the end at the point in the set where it's at, like I'm always mad tired and I'm just like I just did this just to like have like a Cannibal Corpse riff here, like you know what I
yeah,
mean? I just did
yeah,
it to do some shit that I thought was cool, like and like that's kind of what those old bands did, you know.
yeah. No, that's definitely the right attitude to be tackling that shit too. It's like, those moments, dude. I like when you're performing, those fucking make it. When you're like when you see people's faces and they're like, "Whoa, what the fuck did I just see?" Like
Yeah,
legit, like that's like what we strive for, and I feel like that's what stays in people's fucking heads. And it's
yeah,
like, dude, weeping, like I couldn't get that shit out of my head. I was like, as soon as I heard the EP was out, I was like, I gotta hear this shit right now. It's your guys' like marketability as well,
mm-hmm.
goes hand in hand. The product you make delivers, the fucking art. God, that art is fucking just amazing. How did you feel when you first saw it, like
Dude,
when it
I
came back?
was so fucking happy. Like, cause I like. So what happened was I found the dude who did it is this guy named Stuart Cole. He's from Australia, which is also crazy. I stan Australia. Like, I want to live in Australia so bad. I've never been there,
You
but
don't
it
mind
seems
the
like such a cool.
spiders?
I mean, like, I guess I just have to get used to killing mad spiders. But I just the place just seems really cool, and well, what had happened was like when I said it to him, like, because I wanted like also like harkening back to Nails, like the second record they made was called Abandon All Life, has the same like red and black color scheme, and I was just like, and I told him like, yeah, like make it like this color scheme and like have the dude like this, but then like and then I was like, I sent him like stuff that like he like had previously made that I liked, and he also did. I don't know if you've heard of this band. They're pretty poppin'. They're called A Feather and Bone.
I haven't.
Yo, definitely, I think you would
Yeah.
really like them. Look them up. But that's how I found out about him. He did their album art, which is also very like their art is crazy just because Stuart Cole did it.
Yeah.
And yeah, what was I talking about? See, but
Go
yeah,
on,
get it.
Stuart Cole.
Yeah, so like when I like am so picky, so I wasn't worried that I wasn't gonna like it, but I was just like I need like my vision to just be like to be real, you know what I mean? And then like he sent me a draft, and I was like before like all the color and stuff, I was like yeah that's it, and then oh
Yeah,
yeah there
just
we go.
pulling it up right there.
I was like yo I
No,
was like
while
is
you
it
going.
over?
Yeah, it's a wrap. No, no, keep going. Yeah, I just wanted to pull it up for the crowd watching and shit.
And like yeah, so just like that really like that was exactly what I had in my head when I was like writing these songs. So I was just more than like I was so fucking happy. Like I can't describe it.
Yeah, that shit is, man.
And speaking of the name, what I meant to tell you, yeah, was that like Weeping, like as a band, like so me and Mike, our drummer, were in Weeping in like we started it in 2017, and like but like to be honest, like so like I was in like a deathcore band that was like just local. Like we didn't do anything. We just like played shows and then like wrote a song, would like never record it. And then but then we would just like open for like whatever bigger deathcore band was like coming through the area, and like other bands like. And so we would just hang out. It was fun. Like I was just in like high school. I was like 17 or 18. And once I like left for college, I was like, all right, well, I kind of can't be in the band anymore because like when you're in college and you're like a freshman, they don't let you have like a car, right? So I couldn't go back and forth. And I was like, well, I'm guessing I'm gonna do my own shit. So I came up with the name Weeping, and I wanted it to be like just because I thought it would be like an accurate like description of like making something that was like violent and emotional. You know what I mean? But my music taste and like my like vision for it at the time, like I didn't like. I feel like once you like really get into the shit of like doing music, like you understand like how to go about it. And like I was not like there yet. You know what I mean? I was just like throwing shit at a wall,
Here's
seeing
a
if it
good
would stick.
name.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I like the name. And so like what happened was like we had played one show and but like our shit wasn't even like death metal. It was like more comparable to like No Zodiac, but like if No Zodiac wasn't good, like because I wasn't good. Like Mike's always been like an amazing drummer, but I wasn't. Like it was my first time like singing and playing guitar at the same time. Like we played one show and it was like a benefit, dude. It was so fucked up. We played one show. It was a cancer benefit. It was at a barber shop for like it was like a charity show for like Rocks for Locks. You know what I mean? How they like donate like wigs to kids with cancer.
Yeah.
And we played our set, and I mean, like the reception wasn't horrible. Like the people there were like, "Oh yeah, it's kind of cool," like And I was playing like a 7-string guitar, you know what I mean, tuned to like drop F, like, and and then he like, and then after we played, this like other band came on, and it was like a rock band because it was like a very like mixed bill show. Like the other bands that were playing were like sounded nothing like us, and vice versa. It's like every other like the first band that played was like a pretty cool metalcore band, and then it was us, and then it was this third band that was like a rock band, and it was like how like everyone's been at like a talent show where like there's like a rock band, there's like a girl singer, and like the strat that's like red with the white pick guard, like you know what I mean? Like it was just
Yeah.
like we are normal, like, and like the girl singer gets up and like she gets on the mic and she goes, "This next song is by Mayday Parade," and then you just hear the like how like single coil guitars on clean are just mad loud, just like bling, and like immediately cop cars show up into the fucking like driveway
Oh,
of
that
this
sucks.
like barber shop, and like they're like, and so they shut it down, like even though it was like bullshit, and it was like a charity event, which is like fucked up, but
Fuck.
like, but yeah, that was like initially like the beginning and end of Weeping in one fucking day. Like we spent like the like me and Mike spent like the entire summer of 2017 like doing that, and then just like afterwards I just like morale was just smoked, like, and I honestly didn't like ever think I'd be in a band again until Pigeon hit me up to do Kong. And then after like Kong kind of like, because like the way Weeping works at least is like me and Pigeon write everything, but at the end of the day, like I'm like the one with like the vision like further than the music, you know what I mean, with like the lyrics and like the artwork and all that stuff. So I'm always like, I'm also like, if you go to the band page, or if you like you know I guess if you just go to the band page, or if you ask for like an interview, like I'm like the one who like responds. Like I think there's been a few zines that have like printed like my answers to questions like in writing, but
Yeah.
like yeah. So I've just been like the one doing all that. So like it's not so much. It's like it is like a collective effort, but like it's a lopsided collective effort because I'm putting in like a lot of it, and like that's not to like discredit what they do. I'm just like kind of what's the word? I like hyper focus on this.
No,
Like I
yeah.
spend all my time thinking about it. Um, but what are you saying?
Oh yeah. No, I was saying it makes sense, man. I mean, there has to be a face,
Yeah, right.
especially like that's why I asked when I was like, "Yo, who am I talking to real quick?" Like just want to make sure I introduce everything right, but I was also thinking, okay, who's, handling everything, cuz it's like as you get more and more people watching you, it's like, you'll know how to handle situations and how to say shit,
Exactly.
like exactly. Yeah, you
Which
want
I
to.
mean, like I'm not like a particularly like, you know, like I don't know what the word, like organized or like professional individual. Like, I try to keep it together at times. But what was I gonna say? Like so then like what happened was like with Kong, like our metalcore band, like we were just kind of like it was this kind of like democratic kind of thing where like it's just 5 people and we all get a say, and if like one person doesn't like it, we don't do it, and like that kind of just made everything like come to a halt after we had released our EP, like in the May of like the year of 2020. And I was just like talking to Mike, and I was like, yo, like, I just want to do death metal, but like, I'm just gonna keep that name we had from like our old band because like that name was fire.
Hell yeah, hell yeah.
And like, yeah, now we're here. Like, which like, honestly, I'm like so happy even like that you wanted to have me on. Like, I would have never thought that somebody would want to ask me questions about this shit.
Fuck, dude. I was like, when I sent, I was like, shit, I hope this guy even responds, man. Like, I fucking want to get, I wanted to do a cool interview on here with your band. And then as I didn't even know, I figured you guys were already, like blew the fuck up and everything.
No.
Like, seriously, like, I really think you're on that path, with the way everything is. Looks killer, man. Shit's fucking great.
Yeah, it's just like, I don't know, like I don't have like I don't know, people have like this shit, like, I go to the bar after work or some shit, like, you know what I mean? Some people are like, I'm gonna do X. I'm like, this is just what I do. Like, when me and Pigeon are like, what are we gonna do if we were just like hanging out? Like, we would just write. Like, we would just talk about band shit. Like, every time like we have a free moment, like, this is what's on our mind. So I mean, I really appreciate that you really fuck with us like that, because like it's all I care about. So.
No, hell yeah, dude. It slaps. Hey, if it slaps, it's going,
Yeah, right.
Like, I thought it was a trip how, so I listened to you guys after I got into Fulci, which is like a really slam heavy band. Like, they're just really like,
I feel like Fulci really like takes you off guard with the slam, because I feel like you're coming into I went into that thinking like it was just gonna be all like, death metal riffs, like fast shit, and then all of a sudden they just hit you with that like dun 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 dun. I was like, yo,
yeah, and then you switch up out of it though. Like, I'm going at that speed, I'm going at some doom, and then it gets a little slammy, and then it's like thrash, and these guys are playing fucking BC Rich guitars. Like, what is did you guys coordinate that? Like, or how did that, with the...
Dude, I've been playing like BC Rich guitar since I was a kid, to be honest. Like, it's funny because like when I was starting to play in like those deathcore bands when I was like in high school, all my boys would be like, yo, you have to get a different guitar. That shit looks dumb. Like,
that's fucked up.
Like, I've had this guitar since I was like, how old was I? I think I was like 10 or like 11 when I got this for like Christmas.
Yeah, you were probably so stoked that Christmas, though, dude.
Fucking crazy. And like, I still fucking rip this like all the time, but I just don't use this. I use this to record the Weeping demo, but I have like that V that I play. I play that, and then I have a BC Rich. I have a 7-string V that I played in Kong. Somewhere back there, I can get it, show you. I don't know if you want me to do that, but
is that the one you played in the Blood Matted Blade video?
No. That guitar I got in between the demo and recording the new or the latest EP. I just some like Facebook Marketplace, man. Like, it's great because like fucking people are like, it's great because like every time I find like a cool guitar I'm trying to buy from somebody, it's always like some dude who had it in like their 80s, like fucking the glory days, and now they're like, like, yeah, I don't really need it anymore. Like, I'm not on my CC DeVille shit anymore.
Damn.
So, yeah, I've been playing BC Rich's, like, and then also Pigeon's bass is my bass. Like, I bought that Warlock bass, but he just plays it because fuck it, why not? It's cool as fuck.
Hell yeah, dude. Oh, that's cool to be fucking with people like that you're hella tight with, and have good friends.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's like also like the best thing about Weeping so far has just been like, it's just me and my boys. Like, if you watch like the videos of like some of our, like this weekend we played our first shows as a 3-piece, and well, actually we even had like, sadly, like Mike, our drummer, is like a pretty poppin' session drummer. He's playing for some bigger bands. And so he had to he couldn't make it to these shows. So we had a fill-in drummer, a dude named John. He's killed it. Super happy with him. But what was I gonna say? Alex was our like live guitar player, and he couldn't make it either. So this is our first 2 shows as a 3-piece.
Yeah.
And that was like it was really confidence boosting, like specifically for me, because like when you have 2 guitars, like you're like, all right, cool, I can fuck up a little bit, like no one's gonna notice. But then like when it's just me, I'm like, shit, if I miss that pinch, everyone's gonna notice.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I definitely missed some pinches, and you know, people definitely noticed. But fuck it,
Yeah, no, the pinches too on the album. That was like one technical fucking thing I really liked about it, dude. That
yeah,
squealing is just fucking. I can't do that shit. I'm like, fuck,
yeah,
dude. Like I mean, I
dude,
can do pinch harmonics. I can't
yeah, yeah,
fucking
yeah.
make them sound that good though. Like shit.
Dude, I remember when I so the demo like was the complete opposite recording as of like the way we did the EP. I just recorded all that like right here, like where I'm sitting in my room, and I sat there like it was like in the Weakest Gods, like there's like a D beat section in the middle where it's just like bam down, bam down, like, and I just like sat there. I remember like because like I couldn't get the 4 pinches in a fucking row. You know
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean? And I sat there like literally for like 2 days, like tracking that part to like get it right, like to the point where it probably just like didn't benefit to like keep doing it. Like my finger hurt, like it was like swollen because I kept going.
Yeah, you're like fuck that. I fucking
Yeah.
when I did that Brandon Ellis guitar fucking lesson, he showed me the riff from Verminous that goes dun 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 dun, and I was like okay, and I'm playing it, and I played it so much I fucking my ring finger was like fucked after. I was like god damn it, I
Yeah.
can't. I don't like I just got it down and I can't play the shit again because I'm in
Yeah.
pain, man. Like fuck.
Well, I mean, other thing that like from a guitar perspective that I really fucked with like personally is that I do not like play. I like playing in drop tunings. I can't write in drop tunings just because it makes me. I don't know what it is, man. Just like making it so easy to do a power chord like this makes it kind of like makes my brain kind of just lazy as far as like what I'm gonna do after like starting at a chord. You know what I mean? So I'm just like, all right, if I just do it, I go dun. All right, I'm just going dun 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 dun. You know, I'm not
Yeah.
gonna like write an actual riff. So doing shit in like we play in C sharp standard, and I don't know, that's like just been my shit. Like I just love playing in standard tuning. It's made me like really like playing the guitar again because like writing in my other projects in the past has been like cool, but it's been like me very much out of my element. And like, you know, now as much as like I don't think I've necessarily just like been in my comfort zone. I've been trying to push myself, but I've been like able to push myself. You know what I mean? Like I have some like fire under my ass to do so.
Yeah, I switched to standard as well after years of drop tuning and realized like, fuck, what was I doing? Like it's
Yeah.
you limit yourself when you're doing those drop tunings. I mean, you can make a groovy metalcore song where, you know, but it's not.
And you know, like I think that just kind of like depends on the person too. Like I like there's some like sick bands that are like really like straight metal that like play in like drop tunings. Like I'm pretty
Yeah.
sure Belphegor plays in like drop tunings. Like and like, you know, they're fucking like practically a black metal band. So
No, yeah, so to each their own too though. That
yeah,
I
exactly.
feel you on that. But yeah,
So I mean
no.
like, you know, just because someone else could do it, like, you know what I mean, good for you. I can't.
Yeah. No, exactly. Dude, some fucking metal bands do it in E standard. I was like,
Hey,
how
respect.
the fuck do you play death metal in E fucking standard? Like E flat I thought was like where it started.
Yeah.
You know, and it's like fuck, man. Yeah, it's
Dude, E flat, like I low key think that might be like I don't think we're gonna change tunings anytime soon, but I don't see us going lower,
yeah.
to be honest. Like, cause it's just like at some point, cause I'm like, why, you
Yeah.
know? So I
Undeath
mean,
Undeath is like fucking G sharp or some shit.
really?
I was like I asked him, I said, how do you guys stay in tune? I was
I
like,
mean,
what the fuck?
nah, I mean that's doable. Like you can like set shit up well. Like
Yeah.
you know, some especially like if you know like a good guitar tech, which I mean like surprisingly like you know. I thought that I would never know somebody who could like just nail it. Like there's a guy around here. His name's Jimmy Bailey. He's a fucking animal. He sets my guitars up and they play amazing. So like, nah, some people got it. Like they can
Yeah.
like your shit can stay in tune at any tuning. You just need to find the right guy.
Yeah. I gotta say I'm guilty of I took my shit to Guitar Center to try to get
agony.
to
No
get a
way.
C standard setup, and you know what the dude told me?
What?
I couldn't believe the shit. So I brought him my my War Beast. I got a BC Rich War Beast, and
Hell yeah.
I brought
Alright.
it in, and I was like, "Yo, can you set me up in C standard? I want to play some Black Dahlia and shit." He was like, "All right." He said, "But you need a baritone guitar to play in C standard. These guitars aren't designed for that." I was like, "What the fuck are you talking
Yo,
about?
what are you on, bro?
So,
Like,
so these 20 bands that fucking use C standard are playing baritone fucking
no
guitars?
way.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Dude.
I was like,
Sorry. cap detected. Like, there's no way.
Yeah. Fuck, man.
Dude, I don't know. Learning Black Dahlia songs was a I can't play, like, I learned to play like the solo and I Only Worship What You Bleed before I could learn how to play like the riffs in the song. Like,
No, I
like
feel
the
you.
riffs are next level, like hard. It's always just like, man, I was like, why am I trying? I can't do that.
Yeah, it's bits and pieces. Those guys are fucking it. Oh, God, they're just so fucking.
Yeah,
They,
like the 5th time we brought up Black Dahlia.
yeah,
Today.
dude, no, they trip me out, man. That, like, it always comes back to them, like, cause they, I mean, they were my gateway to metal, so I'm always gonna have
Yeah.
that, you know, and like, I'm happy about that because I wouldn't have discovered all this other music that I fucking love now, you know.
Mhm.
Like, I feel, what was your, like, you said Slayer was your first one, and then Cannibal Corpse.
I wouldn't say Slayer was my first one, but I when I found out about Slayer, I was like in there like, that is the best band. But I'd say like my first metal band I ever like, first, like, because my parents are immigrants, they're from Greece, so like we didn't ever really listen to American music in the house. And around the time, like, I would say like when I was like 9 or 10 years old, and I, like, when my dad wasn't home, I'd like get on his like desktop computer and like go on YouTube and like start looking at shit. And eventually, if I'm not, I can't, like, I don't exactly remember what happened, but my cousins had either showed me, yeah, so if I'm right, my cousin showed me Back in Black by AC/DC.
Okay.
And I was like, this is so cool. And then at the same time, at some point on YouTube, I found out about Through the Fire and the Flames by Dragon Force. And I think that was like the first metal song I ever heard, whether it was like inadvertent or not, because I was like when it was popping off from like Guitar Hero 3 and whatnot. And after that, my little brother, for like no reason, like asked my parents for guitar lessons, and then like my mom told me that, and I was like, "Yo, can I do that too?" And then we ended up just like doing guitar lessons, and then like my brother stopped after a while. I just kept going with it. But yeah, I think my first shit was Dragon Force, and then Master Puppets by Metallica, and then that's where it's just like, now I'm going off the rails. Now I'm just going down.
Yeah, exactly. The fucking rabbit hole, bro.
Yeah, so
You
it's
can
like,
be in there. Trevor said on his Twitter, he was like, "There's so many bands that I keep discovering today. I wouldn't be
Yeah.
surprised if I just walk. You would expect to walk down the street and bump into like 3 different fucking people that are in bands.
Yeah,
you
right.
know. And I think it's
But-
awesome because people say rock's dead, but it's like,
Well,
it's
I
maybe
mean, rock
yeah.
is not what we're at right now.
yeah.
Like,
Well, you know
what
what I
Like,
mean. I mean,
yeah,
like,
I mean, I don't think. I mean, personally, I don't know like where you're at with like
yeah,
the people. 'Cause, like, however deep in a scene you are, like, can make a big difference. Like when I was little, I didn't think that there was any like, or at least little, or like I didn't think there was any like anything going on around here until I started like going to shows, and I'm like, oh, okay,
yeah,
stuff is going on. But like the I don't know, it's like cool. It's like you see like it's popping, or like rock music like itself. Like, 'cause I do like, I dabble in some classic rock. Like I did, like, what, for that, like for nostalgia purposes, like, I was like, Van Halen and like Foreigner or whatever. But like that's not like something I listen to all the time. But like, yeah, rock I feel like is kind of like it's making a bit of a comeback. But like metal is popping. I don't
yeah.
care.
No, yeah, absolutely. Metal is fucking, it's killing it right now. I just like, I really hope that it stays consistent, man. I fucking worry like about, I don't know, I feel like gatekeeping is going away almost. Like when I was a kid, it was like, oh, you listen to that band, they're not as heavy as that band. Like name 5 songs, fucking, like that type of attitude. I feel like maybe is going away with the younger generations and shit.
I mean, we are also adults now, so I think there's that.
Yeah, that too.
Like,
That too.
I feel like the internet's kind of like ruined gatekeeping.
Yeah, I know, because you're literally, dude, one suggested click away from fucking the shit that's gonna change, your life, man.
Yeah.
But fuck, dude. Yeah, so let me see. Hold on. I think I got something else.
Hell yeah.
Just want to check. I fucking want to knock these ones out before. Damn, dude, we fucking pretty much touched everything. Well,
Hell yeah, bro.
Well, shit, man. Yeah, the new album or the new EP, fucking, it's been out since May. If, any viewers want to take a listen to it, check it out. It's on Spotify, Bandcamp, fucking YouTube, all over the fucking place.
Apple Music.
Yeah, Apple Music. Oh, I'm sure it's on TikTok. Fucking, if you want to make a
Tidal.
TikTok.
I don't think it's on Tidal. It might be. I'm not sure.
Yeah, on all major streaming platforms. Fucking, we got tons of fucking merch that you want to check out from these guys. They got a long sleeve, a short sleeve. I'd actually bust out the short sleeve, but I think it's in the wash. I had it on my stream last week. I was like,
I saw that, bro.
Yeah, that's what triggered it. I was like, shit, man. Like, hey, they might fuck with me. They retweeted me. I was like, shit. Bro. No, it was yeah, man. It's fucking killer. Shit. I guess. Well, this is death matches and death metal. I don't know if you have enough time to check out a death match right now, but I'll put on a fucking. Yeah.
I mean, shit, I'm a wince in pain, guaranteed.
Yeah, this is so that I do 2 kinds of interviews. Oh, actually 3 kinds of interviews. So I do death metal interviews. I do wrestler interviews because I fuck with the underground wrestling scene around here. And then I also do gaming interviews and shit like that. You know, if I can get a fucking developer on here. Those guys don't know who the fuck I am. But you know, I gotta game more. I gotta beat that fucking Trials of fucking, what's that shit called? That
Dude,
guy.
I don't know.
I only played it for 3 hours earlier. And fuck, I can't even remember what. Rise of the Triad. Rise of the Triad.
There we go. That's what it was.
Yeah, fuck, man. But yeah, fucking. You know what? If I guess we could wrap it up. And then I'll get you another time for some death matches or some shit like that.
Bro. I'm down to come back on.
We could plan something out. Yeah, because I didn't have this portion of it like fucking ready to go. But yeah, dude, no, it's fucking been a killer time. Theo, Vlahos from the amazing band Weeping. You guys want to check this shit out? I'm gonna show off their merch, all this shit. You know, their fucking vinyl comes out on the 24th. I want to pull up the vinyl real quick just because this shit is fucking crazy. I'm gonna pull up the actual disc itself. How did you guys fucking get that disc fucking like planned out? Was that something they just threw at you, or did you say?
Yeah, I mean, what happened was I think we had the DHDM with the like we used just like the sleeve print, and like Kareem like came up with it. It was really cool because like our album's not long enough to fill up a whole so just like one side, and the other side just has that cool thing on it. Oh yeah, worm infested. Let's go.
I know. Yeah, I was just checking that out. Fuck, let's see.
Yeah, it'll definitely still be on the night shift page.
I know you guys were right up at the top. That's how it caught my eye. It was like literally the top thing they were promoting.
That was like also a very like surreal moment. Like when we dropped the video, it got on Metal Injection too.
No shit, you guys made it on there. Oh, that's crazy, man.
That was like a trip, dude. Like
wow.
that was like some crazy. That was like some like life goal shit for me.
Yeah, I was watching their what was it, the Slay at Home that they did.
Yeah.
That shit was fun, man. Yeah, I had a good time watching that show. But yeah, fuck, man. I copped this one right here. My girl told me to get this one, and I was like, fuck. I'm like, now I'm thinking like, shit, should I have gotten that? I know vinyls are like slow in production right now. Yeah. So you got to be real careful with your orders. You got to make sure you get that shit in.
Yeah.
To make sure you get them. But yeah, this that shit's crazy. Depressive homicidal death metal. That's something else I didn't ask you about. How did that manifest?
So, this is going to be like not a lame story, but not like a particularly like creative one. Have you ever heard of depressive suicidal black metal?
Mm-mm.
Well, that's a genre. Believe it or not.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. Like, YouTube that when you get a chance. Like, that's a trip. Like, that's just like dudes, like, literally, like I said, like just screaming, like in a room, cutting themselves. And like, that's
fuck.
Like, yeah. And so I like, Pigeon, when like, what had happened was, if you notice, there's like a little bit of a difference in my vocals between like the demo and the EP. And the demo, I thought I was just kind of like letting it rip. I never really like had done a recording session like as a vocalist before. And then when we were recording with Hunter's like, can you go lower? Like, I didn't even do a vocal yet. You know, I was just like, I mean, yeah. Like, and he was just like, all right, cool, do that when we record this. And I was like, all right, cool. And it just came out that way. And Pigeon was the one to be like, it sounds depressive. And I was just like, I have an idea. I was like, tell me if this is dumb or not. I was like, depressive, homicidal, death metal. It's some shit literally that already exists, and then like they were like, no, that's cool. I was like, let's go.
Yeah, no, that shit was that caught my eye too. I was like, depressive homicidal death metal. That sounds sick as fuck. You saw me on that thing I posted. I was all drunk the other night. I was like, they're depressive homicidal death metal. I was fucking pumped. That
Let's
shit's
go.
it's fun to say, man. That's fucking
Yeah, right?
crazy. Yeah, I noticed that like the vocals were different on the EP than they were on the demo.
Yeah,
Was,
I thought I was doing lows on the demo, and then like Pigeon and Hunter were just like, nah, dude, those are like mids. Like they're like not low enough. And I was like, all right, well, I guess I'm gonna have to figure out how to do this. And they just literally on the fly, first vocal was just like, I'm not gonna do it, but like it was just like, it was like way lower, and I was just like, is that cool? They're like, perfect.
fuck, man. How long did it take you to get like that consistent shit? It doesn't tear your voice up at all, huh?
I mean,
Or
no,
your throat up?
I mean, well, back in the day, like when I did like the original like Weeping demos in like 2017, definitely fucked my voice up for sure. Like, but like I honestly just like practicing in the car. That's literally the only way like that I've found, and like just practicing to music, and like I don't have like the what's the word, like the luxury of cupping the mic like standalone vocalists do.
Oh
So I just
yeah.
had to like so I've just had to like figure out a way to like make it like kind of just come out. Like you find like a sweet spot in your voice and you just kind of have to like ride it out. The hard part for me really is just like every show, like to just like warm up and like like kind of clear my throat properly before, because sometimes you get nervous and like the first like vocal you do, you're like and you're like, ah, fuck.
Fuck, man.
Yeah.
You ever have any mishaps at a show? Like one time I was doing this show with this band I was in. We were called, I can't remember. We were Hands of Oblivion, or we were her Deadly Decision. It was some weird, bro. It was back in like the scene 2000.
You know what I mean? Like
fucking come
some
on,
like raw XD type shit.
2008. Like. Yeah, we had like 3 fucking guitarists because
let's go.
Yeah, it was. But the thing was that we all were playing the same shit.
Yeah.
Because everybody fucking. We didn't. There was one guy in the band that we wanted to kick out, but we couldn't. Because he was our friend, and then so we're like, come on, man, it's all good. So I remember, we did this show, and fucking one of the amps was just like, we all had half stacks. We all had to have half stacks for this fucking show, but it was literally the smallest venue, so it wasn't necessary, and fucking our shit just like. The static just overpowered fucking everything. I was like, everybody has to be playing something at some second because we're getting feedback. We had no noise suppressors on our shit.
Yeah,
and it
right.
was just like,
that was like I never had like a mishap like that where I never knock on wood, I never broke an amp on stage. Every time I've popped a string on stage, like I've like had a fucking panic attack. So I always have 2 guitars on me whenever I play, because I'm like, I play with a Floyd Rose. It's like, I'm not going to change that string. It's not happening. So I mean, realistically, like I'm trying to think of like any like real bad mishaps. I've definitely like tripped and like almost fallen. Definitely fucked up parts really bad. I've definitely forgotten whole parts. like in Weeping has been my most like professional, heavy quotation marks on professional.
Yeah.
But like my most like, I mean, like I am very dedicated now, but like in my prior bands I was just kind of showing up. So I am very like on top of it as I can be. Very like borderline neurotic. I don't know. No, thankfully no crazy mishaps, but there have been like, fuck ups and, popping a string and I'm just sitting there like, the fuck do I do?
Yeah. Yeah. It usually happens when you're younger years, when you're first starting to get your footing and shit.
Dude, you never think you're going to pop a string and then you do and you're like, fuck.
Yeah. Fuck, dude, I popped a string. I don't know how the fuck I did it. I was at I was like 19. I was at this bar. They started serving me somehow. I was with like 10 of my friends and I saw them doing a stand-up show and I had an acoustic guitar in my car. And I was like, fucking, I got to get on this fucking stage right now. So I go and I go and I'm begging the lady, like, give me 10 minutes, give me 10 minutes, give me 10 minutes. And then the lady's like, all right, we'll give you 10 minutes. Come on, bring it up. So I was like, cool. So I bring my guitar up. I jump up on the stage. I'm White Django. I was all fucked up. And then I like literally like 4 strums in, my shit breaks. And I was just like, whatever. Like, you just go with it, man. Like, fuck it, you know?
Yeah, I mean that's what you have to do, really. But like, I remember the first time that happened to me, I was just like, so like a deer in the headlights.
Oh, fuck. I feel that. Yeah, it's brutal, man. The first show I ever did, I was playing with my War Beast, and we were covering fucking "Say It Ain't So" by fucking Weezer. It was
on the War Beast. Let's
on
go.
the War Beast. Yeah, my boys both had Strats, and I had that, and I was just like, "Hey, man, this is my best sounding guitar right here." You know, like
Is it the one with like the red pinstripes?
No, that's the one I wanted, but I got the I got the Trace. It's got like white lines around it, and then it has
that's cool too.
Yeah,
though.
2 pearls. I grown to appreciate it after like years of having it. It's like it was my Christmas present that year, so it's funny, man. Like,
fuck yeah.
My dad did that shit with me where he gave me fucking Jenga. And I was like, oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it, Dad. And I was like,
yeah.
And then he was like, what's that there behind the fucking, behind the curtain? You know?
Hell yeah, bro. That's sick, man.
Yeah, this shit's crazy. Do you active or passive pickups? That's something I didn't.
I'm not super particular. I have I really like I have a Dimebucker in one of my guitars, not the one I play in Weeping. I have a Dimebucker on that Warlock I showed you earlier. So that's a passive pickup. I have an EMG in the V that I use for Weeping, and that's active. I don't know. I like it a lot.
81?
Sounds cool. I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
The guy who I bought it off of just had it in there, and I was like, "Fuck yeah, let's rock."
Hell yeah.
So I mean, like, I don't know. There's some cool guitars I've had with passive pickups. Like, I have a Charvel guitar that is like my backup. It's like a Strat shaped. It's like an OG Charvel guitar that I really fuck with. I have no idea what pickups is in that. I like don't even know. But it just sounds cool. So I'm like I'm all about it. But
hell yeah, yeah. I got a soloist. Fucking green crackle. I'd show it right now, but it would just be see-through on my shit.
Yeah.
It's got a fucking. It came with Duncan Design. Passive humbuckers. I want to rip those fuckers out though and throw in some
you don't like them?
So throw in some Fishmans or something. They pick up a lot of noise like when you're playing and shit. So I just want it to be cleaner, tighter. I
had a guitar with a Seymour Duncan Black Winter in there, and I hated it.
Yeah.
So I mean, no. That's kind of like the only time, like, cause I've never been like a real like gear person, aside from like when I figured out what I'm like, oh, what's that sound? Like I really like, and my one friend was like, that's an HM2. I'm like, noted. That's it. Like,
I need that. Yeah, fuck. I'm waiting for mine. It's on back order, man. I can't. I'm like, shit. I go on eBay and everything's like fucking hella inflated with those because they're so in demand. And once the Waza got announced, I was like, fuck. It's something I wanted for a long time. On it, but. I feel you on that, dude. That sound, that what's it called? That chainsaw Swedish
tone,
chainsaw tone. Oh, bro, that shit's fun, man. Yeah. Well, yeah. Shit, I guess. Fuck, man. We've pretty much hit everything. It's been a killer interview. It's been absolute pleasure having you. Definitely.
Thank you so much for having me.
Yeah, man. Hey, once that next project's out, or whenever the fuck, man. Say you have some, you do some killer shows or some shit. Just don't hesitate to hit a DM. We're gonna end the stream real quick. Thank you so much, guys, for tuning in. This has been cool. This is all gonna get posted too. I'm probably gonna edit out the and the from my side because I'm sipping right now. But yeah, had a great great stream. I'm probably gonna stream some games in a little bit too, and I'll run it back a little bit. But yeah, thanks for tuning in. Mayvizzle family, stay focused, baby. Death metal, death matches